Review won't stop talking about the Switch USA. Haha. I know, there seems to be a new video about the Switch every day, but where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's just a ton of smoke right now. And this is tech and gaming news, so I should talk about it. Let's get into it. Skip it up and that up. So it seems like the worst kept surprise ever that relatively soon, or very soon, we're going to be getting new hardware from Nintendo regarding the Switch, whether it be a smaller, more kid-friendly Switch, or a more powerful Nintendo Switch like a Switch Pro. There's definitely something coming. Fine, Nintendo came out and said it's not coming out during E3, they're not going to make an announcement during E3, but something is coming down the pipe. And it's not like, obviously they're always working on hardware, they're a hardware company, but sooner than like a few years from now. And Nvidia's latest financial report also hints at that, because they're expecting an uptick in revenue due to new Nintendo hardware. Or at least that's what analysts are saying. Now, Harlan Sur, who is an analyst over at JP Morgan Chase, said this about Nvidia. Although GPU channel inventories have largely normalized in the April quarter, gaming growth also appears to be held back somewhat by the well-known notebook CPU shortages, impacting the initial ramp of its notebook business. However, we expect seasonal growth in gaming, augmented by ramp of second-generation Nintendo Switch for the remainder of the year. Augmented by a ramp-up, I believe it means to say. So that's what Harlan Sur, who is an analyst over at JP Morgan, is saying about Nvidia and why they're expecting a ramp-up, because there's going to be a new Nintendo Switch. Christopher Rowland, who's also a Wall Street analyst over at Susquehanna, thinks pretty much the same thing as well, and this is what he had to say. Somewhat surprising, implied gaming guidance beat our expectations, helped in part by a strong return of Nintendo Switch sales, as the Japanese company is expected to launch a cost-reduced version of the device. And also Nvidia's CEO Jensen Huang said they're going to see increased revenue in the near future. So something's up. There's something from Nintendo in the pipeline, and it's coming much sooner than people expect. And whether it be the Switch Mini like Christopher Rowland expects, or a second-gen Switch like Harlan Sur expects, there's some new piece of hardware coming, and whether it be just a smaller Switch that's more kid-friendly, that's still going to be an uptick in Nvidia's revenue, or if it's a more powerful Switch, a Switch Pro, that's also going to be an uptick in Nvidia's revenue. And we've heard so many analysts who have insider sources, either over at Nintendo or other reliable sources, saying, yes, Nintendo is coming out with a new piece of hardware for the Switch sooner than later. Expect it. I know this at this point, if this is all false, this is the most insane rumor ever. Like, if this is all untrue and Nintendo does not touch the Switch hardware till like 2022, this will be like the biggest gaffe that analysts have ever had and tech journalists have ever had, because everyone is talking about this and the rumor is persisting. And when a rumor persists, there has to be some truth to it. So whether we're getting both a more powerful Switch and a smaller Switch, or we're getting one of the two, something is coming. It's coming very soon, and we're going to see some kind of revision to the Switch hardware this year. At this point, I can almost safely say that I close to guarantee it. I could be wrong, and I'm sure that there'll be tons of egg thrown at my face if I am, but I mean, come on. All of these people can't be wrong, and if they are, it'll be the best disastrous story ever, how everyone screwed up and Nintendo isn't releasing a new piece of hardware. That would actually be very interesting too if that happened, but we'll have to wait and see. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one. Hey everybody, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the subscribe button. Also click the bell next to it to be notified of all of my uploads. And if you want to come check out my live streams, I have a second YouTube channel called RTU Streams, where I'll be streaming there quite a bit starting in April. I'll have a link to that below in the description as well. Thank you for the continued support, and I'll see all of you in the next video.